I am Rahat Lokhanwala and I currently work in Akanksha as a teacher leader. I work in a school in Dadar called Shindewari Mumbai Public School, and I teach grade 10 English, and I also support science and English teachers in my school. And earlier, I did the fellowship for 2 years in Pune. I taught 64 10th graders, 9th and 10th graders, English and science. In 2 years, like, I've seen that transformation in them. Like, they've learned how to take initiatives, like, them kind of doing things by themselves. Also, like, the confidence level, and also, like, not being dependent on anyone, like, self-independent. So, I think that's, like, what I've seen, and I like, from 9th grade to, like, 10th grade, I've seen that transformation in them, in, like, 1 year. Like, they become, like, grown into adults. Like, of course, there have been, like, days where, like, they have their own, like, mood swings and tantrums that they want to throw, but, like, most of the time, like they realize, like, what the real world is like and what they need to kind of do in order to, like, face the real world. So I feel like more like no dependency, trying to do things by themselves, start projects and initiatives by themselves. So we had this rule in my class where me and my co-fellow, we told, like, the kids that you each have to, like, start something by yourself. It can be something as simple as like a project within the school. It can be something wide scale. It can be something as simple as I'm going to start making a chart paper for my classroom. So, like, a project, whatever, but you need to start something. And not everyone ended up doing it, but a lot of them did, and it kind of created a change. So one of, like, something that I kind of resonate with a lot is leadership skills, and I felt like as soon as, like, you actually start something, or you even, like, take the initiative to start something, it's like one step closer to kind of being a leader. So I wanted them to start small, and also in life, like, everything's just not given to you. You need to kind of start forming things. You need to start doing things by yourself. So that's why I wanted them to experience that in a small environment like a classroom, and then maybe they could, once they realize that they can do it in a classroom and that achievement factor comes in, they could move and, like, do bigger things. For me, leadership has, like, 3 things within itself. Like, within leadership, there are 3 things. One is being empathetic, so understanding what another person's going through. Second is initiating and taking on initiatives, and the third is empowering others. So, like, these are 3 things that I would, like, expect a leader to have. So that's how I describe leadership. One project that this kid in my class, Anjali, started was the MUN club, where she was so inspired and motivated by the Model United Nations, and she participated in them, like, for a couple of years. So she started this MUN club in my school, where she decided to kind of teach 5th grade to 8th grade, like, what are the steps and how do you go about MUN, and how do you go about money. And what she did was, she started off pretty basic, like, how do you go about doing it, but then she started, like, bringing topics which are relevant and which, like, kids really need to think about and which they don't think about, like the LGBTQ rights. She spoke about human rights and how the refugee crisis that's taking place. And then when you bring in, like, topics like that, and when a kid is ready, like, talking about topics like that to other kids, it kind of, like, changes the way they see it, because they're all from the same community, and if one kid has that thought where no, like you need to stand up for your rights, you need to be a person who like is fighting for gender equality, then that kind of motivates and empowers all the other kids around. And so I saw like many of my class girls like now like coming up with this thing that, oh, we'll make pepper spray, and like asking questions about, you know, why are we not allowed to go outside in our community after 7 o'clock, and shouldn't we also be allowed in mosques since it was a Muslim dominated community. So that was where I saw the empowering coming in, and also like empathy, because you know, how do you think like a refugee would be feeling? Like that's where I saw that come in. When I entered 9th grade, like, yeah, Anjali was one of the brighter kids, and she definitely had that streak of, you know, you could see that there's a possibility that she's going to be like a great leader at some point. But then throughout those 2 years, I feel like she made use of the opportunities that she like had. So she definitely like put herself out there. She applied for everything possible, whether it was a KER lab that was being run in Pune, to like the MUN, to the GFK coaching, to the institute, being an intern in institute. And I feel like I saw like a huge shift in her after she came back from the institute, where she was like, you know, doing the internship for the first time, because that's when she kind of interacted with like so many people from so many different backgrounds and so many different cultures, and I feel like that exposure kind of, you know, made her want to do more. She could articulate how she felt, like she knew exactly what she was good at, she knew what she wasn't that great at, and she knew how to use what she was good at to like her advantage. So she knew that she's a great orator, she knew that she can speak well, she's confident, and she used that to her advantage. She took opportunities very selectively, you know. She didn't like apply for everything, but she kind of like strategized as to, okay, I'm really good at MUN, so I'm really good at speaking, so I'll join an MUN. Most of the girls within my class, like, she was the one who empowered them. So she used to go to the community center as well, and in the community center, she was the one who would kind of, you know, tell them that, oh, let's do this, or you could even do this. And she started this thing even in the community center, which was called like learning circles, which she learned from Insti. So she took it back and she started doing learning circles within the community center. And so it started off by her taking learning circles, but then slowly she started assigning like weekly that, you know, every kid would take a learning circle. And so then it kind of helped in the development of others as well. And that's exactly what a leader does, right? I think she's quite inspired by seeing things around her. I don't think it's only us or anything. I feel like, you know, she's like had a lot of exposure, and I feel like she has that passion within her that, you know, no, I want to make that change. I think she's motivated by like people around her as well, but she's also motivated, like she also has that intrinsic motivation that she wants to be a change maker, you know, she wants to really like change the world. And like this one thing that she keeps saying is, you know, we should spread love. So yeah, I feel like that's where it kind of comes from. I think if Anjali had to do something, I would say that like she could be a life coach, because she interacts with people and she has this like solution or this way of comforting you, and I also feel like she enjoys like, you know, helping people. She has that leadership quality in her where she can guide you as well. So that's what I would think she would be doing. Or even like, I know like at some point she thought about doing the fellowship as well. So I don't know what she would do, but I feel like she could do this.